Boom. Just hanging out in my garage. So, how you guys been? Hope you're doing well. Uh, Not tweeting nothing out because I don't really have a plan. I just am sitting here and figured I would stream. Don't know where the stream will take us. Don't know what path we'll go down. Um, but yeah, so here I am. Gonna load up some Orca Slicer real quick though. And then I think I got my issues with the Centauri carbon worked out. That might be a filament issue. So I think I'm going to throw the filament in question on the Mark III back there and try printing the file that I want to print on that. I'm using a SliceWorks plate, and it's the SliceWorks cold plate for the Pruses. Seems to be working quite well. Centauri Carbon. We need to change the name of that. I named it Fabrico, but I should have named it Hector or Chamois. Should have named it Chamois. But I got to print some parts. I tried printing the parts. I think I'm just going to print them in PLA and see what happens. 3D Medic Vince, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, man. I got to print the parts for that 3MS. I think I'm just going to print them in PLA and we'll see how they print. I need to get a Jabberwocky or print some kind of a tool header or tool head for that thing that'll have a cutter on it. I mean, I can do it without the cutter, but you know. I also did change this yet again. I did print another one of these with I'd made some modifications to these for the orange pie so that it would fit better with the EMMC or with the M.2 slot that's on the bottom. It kind of shifts things over. So I had to kind of like cut into the mounting holes for the screws on this side. I had to trim that back a little bit, make some room. So I did that, and I moved the orange pies into this one that I just printed. And then I took the old one and put the two Libre boards back in it. So rocking two Libres. I got the Alta board, and then I believe I have the sweet potato in here. Havoc, good to see you, man. What'd you miss? Nothing. It's truly just a sit in the garage and hang out stream. I don't have a plan. Let's see something real quick. Let's see. There we go. I don't really have a plan, man. It's just a hang out in the garage, and I haven't streamed in a while, and I'm out here now. I haven't been out here since the last stream, what, 2 weeks ago. I came in here and I have spider webs all over the place. Earlier today when I was out here, I got that hopefully printing. I'm going to throw some parts at it in PLA because, you know, I'm having issues with right now with printing them on there. I was going to print all the parts for the 3MS, the multi-material system that I want to put on there, and then the lettuce feeder, so that we can kind of compare and contrast on there. I need to talk to LDO and see if they want to sponsor a Jabberwocky. I think that'd be kind of cool, but if not, it'll be a little while. But when there's some funds, I'll probably just buy the Jabberwocky kit from either West or from KB or Fabrico. I think Fabrico's got them too. Give me just a second though. I want to open up some parts real quick. Now let's space these out. There we go. These are the 3 joiners. You guys can't see that yet, but now you can. there's the 3 little joiners for the 3MF or the 3MS. You've got a left, a right, and a middle. And then you print these off. And then they just slide into these slots here. And then this one goes in here and into here. Well, into here, because that'll spin around and sit in between. But I should be able to print these without support. I believe they were designed to be printed without support. Let's go to strength, 5, 5, and 5. Let's up that infill to 25. Rectilinear, because why not? Let's give it a slice. Let's see what it says. 5 hours and some change. And on this side, it is putting down a raft, but on this side, it is not. Or not a raft, a brim. Yeah. Let's turn off the brim. We don't need no stinking brim. We're printing it in PLA. Slice again. Here's the daughter. Yeah.
And he straight. I said, "Can I go get Tylenol?" He said, "Parents don't have any." And I said, "I don't know how to swallow pills that big." And now he won't answer me.
So the answer is, yeah, you can go, goofball. He's fine with that. He would have said no. He didn't say no. So just run, get it, and come home. Don't goof around. Just go straight there. If he gets mad, he can talk to me. Just take the truck straight there, straight back. Don't goof around. Thank you. All right. Print this. And heated bed leveling is fine. We're going to use textured plate A and upload. You're printing the toolhead beta to test on the Merc. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna let these ride out. We'll see how these print out on the Centauri. Speaking of, there it is. So we'll bring up the Centauri. Every time the Centauri comes up, you see the Fabrico logo in the corner because, again, for those who don't know, the Centauri Carbon was sponsored by Fabrico. I did reach out to Elegoo support because of the extrusion issues or the extruder issues I was having with it. Their recommendation was basically the same thing I've been doing, which is just clean out the hot end and send it. So I cleaned out the hot end, I raised it up to temp, and I kind of like forced through a rod. I had one of those push rods, the cleaners that comes with some of the printers these days. I think this actually came with the Magneto, if I remember. What's going on, Clayton? By the way, I saw you there, bud. Good to see you. But it's this little thing right here. So I just took this guy, and with it heated up, I put it on top, and I forced it down through. And it basically just cleared out the whole path through the extruder down, and I took the nozzle out so that I could just force it all the way through. You had to spend your printing budget on brakes for your Blazer. Yep, I understand, man. I understand. I guess while we're waiting for that to start printing, let me, I guess, kind of fill you guys in on some stuff. So those of you who remember my Chevy Trailblazer, my boys got the parts, rebuilt the top end of the motor, and within a block, it blew the bottom end out. So it needs a motor. So we're just selling it. I'm going to throw it up on Marketplace, and we're just going to sell it. I'm not putting any more money into it. My Saab took a shit again. My son got the computer for it, got it put in, got it programmed, and in about probably about 3,000 miles, the computer, I think, took a shit, or the motor's taking a shit. So we're going to put that up on Marketplace. And many years ago, some of you will remember the tragic story of I drove 2 hours in the middle of the night to go buy a Ford Ranger for my daughter to drive, and drove it home, and the next day it was dead. Transmission went out. So for 2 years, that's been sitting out at my in-laws' house, just collecting dust. So we're going to put that up on Marketplace. So this weekend, I'm going to get vehicles cleaned out, get some pictures, and post them on Marketplace. The hope is we'll do like everyone on Marketplace. I'll put 1,500 or best offer for each one, and hope that we can get about $1,500 for all three. And then we're going to take that $1,500 and see if we can find a beater with a heater on Marketplace that does run, so that we can have a vehicle that does run. The other option is if I can sell two but not the third, depending on how much we have and which vehicles they are, whichever one is left. If it's enough money from selling the other two, then we will do that. But right now, as it stands, we're down to one vehicle. My son's truck is here. He's been letting us use the truck. And then, yeah, so we got the Jetta, my son's truck, and until Sunday, we have my parents' Explorer. Save the Ranger. Yeah, I know Havoc, dude. If you got access to a trailer and you want to come make me an offer on it, I'll show you some pictures later. It needs a transmission and a back window. The back window my father-in-law was mowing grass. Like I said, we drove it home and then it died, and then I was able to get it started and drove it out to their house. And when I got it out to their house, that's pretty much it. It hasn't moved since. But it was sitting there. He was mowing the grass. He picked up a rock and blew out the back window. So it needs a back window and a transmission, but it's got the 3.0, and the motor was still pretty solid for 300,000 miles. So I don't know that it was the original motor in it. I didn't really know much about it. The guy didn't know anything about it. But yeah, it'd be nice to save the Ranger, but realistically, if I can sell three vehicles and get enough to buy to turn three into one. But yeah, so financial situation sucks, as usual. There's nothing new there. We're up shit creek, short on money, got a bunch of bills to pay and don't have the money. Supposed to be getting the 500 from my dad's passing sometime later this month. Like I said, he put $500 in the will, so hopefully, in the next week or two, maybe I'll get a check in the mail. And I'll have that $500 to go along with, whatever we can sell the cars for. That'll be an extra $500 towards a beater with a heater. But realistically, I would like to just sell all three of them and not have to look at them anymore and just start over with something, preferably 4-cylinder and manual transmission. I do like my 5-speed, 6-speed. So manual transmission would be fun. But yeah, so I'm stressing and straining a bit. The wife is stressing quite a bit. We're both stressed out, and life has just been really hard, kind of pushing down on us a bit and causing some headaches and strains in places it never has. So we're just kind of doing stuff. But it's kind of why I haven't been streaming, because I'm either working volleyball or just trying to hold it together. Today, like I said, I was out here today for a bit, and I printed 2 ducks, so that was about an hour and a half worth of duck printing. So I was out here for about 2 hours earlier today. After that was done, I went in the house and spent the last couple hours doing some dishes, tidying up the house a little bit, things that have been getting neglected due to, mental state and not enough time at home. So I did that. And like I said, the stream where I replaced this and put it in there, and had to kind of like nip out some stuff. And I also redesigned the part and reprinted it, and forgot I had done that, and went to start the part again, and then realized, hey, wait a minute, the part's sitting on the build plate. So I took it off, transferred the orange pies to the one that I modified to fit. I modified them already because I put these slots in here to run a USB cable through, or I guess if you wanted to, you could run an Ethernet through there. If you really wanted to, you could fish the cable through, put an end on it. I think what I should do is widen that up a little bit and maybe put a USB to USB in there, and then you can actually just use a small cable to connect them. Hey, Jack. Good to see you, man. What's everyone doing today? This is truly just a not really sure stream. I'm just sitting here in the garage and figured I haven't streamed in a while, and I figured maybe if I stream, I'll become productive. There's the Orange Pi. This is the Orange Pi 8 gig I have right here hooked up. This is the Orange Pi 4 gig. That's the Libre Alta board. I did put the Libre boards back in, so I have a Libre Alta board in here and the Libre Sweet Potato. And since these two do not have Wi-Fi built in, and I would have to use a Wi-Fi dongle, I think I'm going to make some small network jumpers, one to go from here to here and one to go from here to here. So I'm probably going to have to make some small little network jumpers. That way these two can have Ethernet. And then I might, for giggles, I might run these two through this hole, one out through this hole and over. What I should do is I honestly should put another slot on this side too, and then widen. Yeah, I can widen this one. I should widen this one out a little bit and make it big enough for like a keystone jack or two, if I can fit one. If I could fit two, maybe sideways, put two keystones in sideways. That way I can pop in whatever I want, whether it be, again, like I said, USB. Oh, yeah, I could put maybe put two keystone jacks in here, and then do another upright keystone here and here, and do the same thing, like reprint this one the same way. Two keystones, a keystone here and a keystone here. Then I can just do an Ethernet, a small Ethernet jumper to there, another one to there. And then from here, I could put an Ethernet and a USB. And then, you know, same thing over here. I could do USB, USB. And then the only thing I got to find, guys, is I got to find a way, like whichever one I'm going to use for my, like this will be my like demo unit. So I'll use the 8 gig Orange Pi. We can't see you. We can see me very small. You guys tired of looking at the printer printing? Let me go sneak a peek with my actual human eyes, and then we'll jump back to the main screen. Sorry, Clayton. All right, well, it looks like it's printing well enough. I'll keep an eye on it. Let me go back to big, just for Clayton's Hawaiian eyes. There you go. Okay, so what I was saying is, with the way I remixed this file was on printables. I remixed it and added these holes in here. So what I should do, or what I was saying I should do, is I should keystone it. Ryan Sharp, what's going on, man? Hey, I get it, man. That's what happens when you get stuck. Are you working right now, or are you at home on hold for something else? But so what I was saying though, guys, is I should put like a keystone jack here, another one here, take this out, make it a keystone, so I can put whatever I want there, keystone style. And then maybe do two sideways keystone jacks here, so that I could put a USB and an Ethernet, and then I can do a, working right now? Sorry, brother. But I could do a small USB jumper to go from here to here for the touch screen, and then do an Ethernet to go, a small Ethernet jumper from here to here. And then on the side of this, maybe remix it so that you know, if I could maybe slide this all the way to one side and then do 2 keystones and 2 keystones, and I could come out and click 1, click 2, click 3, and click 4. And then, you know, that wouldn't be so bad. Either that or maybe just open it up on the sides with an opening so that I can run cables through it. The only pain would be the fact that there's not a lot of space there. So I would have to basically build my cables in the unit so I can fish the wire through. Working with an app trying to fix a cradle point in an airport. Ooh. Well, I hope you get that done, man. I hope that works out. I know dealing with cradle point and, you know, I know that dealing with cradle point can be a pain in the ass. So, projects in Dad's garage. What's going on, man? Good to see you. But yeah, guys. So I repurposed the one that I originally put the orange pies in and put the 2 Libres back in, and then modified the file to better fit an orange pie. I know you guys probably won't be able to see it, but we'll try turning it around here. Not sure how well you can see in there. Let me see if I can zoom in more. Yeah, I think that's about all the farther I can get to. Let's see, will it go in any farther? Hey, look at that, it does go in farther. Okay, so you can kind of see it. Right here on the back of the orange pies, there's actually an NVMe slot, and then the SD card slot is shifted over from where Raspberry Pi and Libre is. It's right in the center. On the orange pies, it's shifted over so they make room for an NVMe. And it's actually a 2280. So it's the full length NVMEs that go in there, or the M.2s, whatever you want to say. So in order to fit them, you can kind of see over here on the side, there's a little mount. Well, it was interfering with this, so I had to go in and just Tinkercad shave off a little bit on the side of the mount there so that this way it would fit. Originally, I just clipped it off of these, but I didn't like that. And since I printed it with it already moved over, I wanted to make sure it was going to work. Now, I'll probably re-upload this as a remix file with the holes cut out for wire pass-through that I put in, because those weren't on there. It was just a solid piece. So I just made a little box and cut through it. And then, like I said, modified it to fit the orange pies. So I'll probably upload those, as well as I did upload the screen file that I made. Since it was a remix, I did give credit where credit was due. I did tag the 2 files that I used to kind of cut together a, there we go. But yeah, I do like it too. The print quality was a little, I mean, it looks rougher on the camera than it actually does in person. And if there's ever a time you're back over by the woodshed, if you're going to be over that way, let me know, Ryan, and I will try to remember to bring this thing into work. So if you're on lunch or something and can swing by, you can check this thing out. I'll bring it in. You can check it out. But yeah, Big Tree Tech again sent me the display. It is touchscreen and it does work. Orange Pie sent me over the 2 orange pies. Originally, for those who don't know, it was supposed to be 2 4 gigs, but they sent me a 4 gig and an 8 gig. I'm using the 8 gig as kind of like a desktop replacement for on the go. So this will be the one that I'll install programs onto and run with. I'm also looking for a couple of NVMe or M.2s. If anybody's got some 2280s, 1 terabyte or larger laying around, 1 or 2 of them, and you're not going to use them, feel free to hit me up and let me know, and I'll tell you where to send them. But let me jump this back just a little bit more. I'll go back a little more. There we go. Now you guys can kind of see me. But I still need to, LTX sent me those panels, and I still need to get off my ass and cut these down, or cut this one down. This is the top one with the fan, and he was so kind as to etch the Maker My Nexus logo into the fan there. But I got to take and shave off 3 mils off the top and bottom. So at some point I got to remember to take this to work, throw some painter's tape around the corner, and then basically just take a blade's width off both sides so that it stays centered. And then I can come home and plop this in the top here, and then I'll have basically everything good. I do need to reprint. Uh, I like the lab racks in here, but you know, 3 of your computers only have 256. That's all right. Projects in Dad's garage, dude. I get it. I get it. Trust me. I figure at some point down the road, I'll probably come across an old laptop that has a full-size drive in it, and then I can snag one up and at least stick it in this one. Because like I said, the 8 gig is going to be more of like the desktop one. So I'd like to have at least a terabyte of storage in there in case I bring some file, like 3D printing files or whatever with. It'd be nice to have just a little more storage. Realistically, I have a external USB drive that I have a lot of that stuff saved on anyway. So not really necessary. I mean, I think somewhere around here I have a 512 or a 256. Yeah, it's either 256 or 512 floating around, but it's not the full. It's not the full size. Oh, here we go. It's right here. Yeah, see, it's not a full size. It just has the little bracket adapter. So I don't know if it would fit on there. It is solid state. I'm looking for size. 256. So it's 256. You have some 4 terabyte SATAs and 2 terabyte portable. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a one of the SanDisk, one of the newer SanDisk externals that's like a 1 terabyte, which I think I've got pretty much all of my or most of the 3D printing files and stuff on it. So really all I'd have to do is you're running the same vape, are you? This is the, well, it's obviously, the pink one because that's what they had, and then sour blue dust. Bear in mind, I am not advocating for vaping, and I'm not telling you to go buy one because I would never do that. Of course, again, the channel's not listed as for children, so I have bad habit. Oh, watermelon bubblegum? Yeah. No, this one was the watermelon ice or whatever the hell it was called. And then it ran out, so I got the blue one because these are a little bit better in the sense that, like, this part's your battery and charger, and then there's a small battery in these, and then just the juice. So, see, I can hit this without having it connected, but I just leave it all together because the little battery in here does not last as long. You just keep everything in iCloud right now? Yeah, I don't have Apple. I'm not an Apple fanboy, so. But yeah, I get it, man. Like, give me a second here. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm looking at the slicer. I brought the slicer up so I could look at the camera. The camera. Let's get logged into the little orange pie. Let me pull the keyboard down here real quick. There we go. Logged into the orange pie. You guys can't see squat. I got to zoom in more if you guys want to see. And even then, it's still too bright for you guys. But touchscreen does work. Look at that. I tapped it and it's so blown out you guys can't even tell. I'd have to. But anyway, yeah, it does work. So it's never too late to become a fanboy. Yeah, it is. The price of those things is too damn much. And as far as I'm concerned, the iPhone Air, they're lying to everyone. Are you watching a Maker My Nexus stream? Oh no, it's Mike. Yeah. Oh no, it's Mike. By the way, hello. Good to see you, man. Sorry I didn't say hi to you when you popped in, but I usually try to. You need to get a logo made to put on the door of the Pandora's box. Yes, you do, Havoc. You need to get a logo put together, brother. You're pulling off press down pulleys. Oh, have fun. I know how big a pain in the arse that can be. Let's see here. I do want to check something real quick. Let's see. I have the screen resolution set real low, so the text is very hard to see. Not gonna let you guys see my password. I don't want you guys, I don't want to be at like an event or something and have this thing sitting on the table and then have one of you guys come up and like take over my stuff. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Okay, proceed with install. Yes. All right, let's cross our fingers that I didn't just break this by skipping it. Is it password? Maybe, but probably not. Nice, bigger pulley where I'm from doing RC and it's robust enough. Nice. I have a feeling there are folks here smart enough to hack into it regardless of what you do. Probably. Probably. I wouldn't put it past anyone. It is currently got 727 things to update. So, but yeah, so I'm printing the parts for the 3MS. So we'll start working on getting those done and then we'll start playing around with that. I need to reprint the toolhead parts for the whatever toolhead I end up going with on the switch wire. At some point, we're going to pull the switch wire down. I'm going to get that Anycubic out of the way, pull the switch wire down, get the enclosure off of it, because really it's just going to be a PLA printer. I don't care much for the enclosure that comes with the switch wire. It doesn't really, I don't like the way it looks, and it doesn't really function as great. So I'll take the enclosure off of it, and yeah. All your passwords are help. I can't remember my password. Sounds about right. Worst comes to worst, you have Chat GPT and you know how to ask it to hack for you. Nice. Yep. There's always a way. There's always a way. But nah, I yeah, I haven't had the oomph lately with everything going on. It all boils down to that's why I haven't streamed, guys. I don't have it. I don't have it in me to put on like, you know, any kind of crazy shows or do anything fun and exciting or work on anything fun and exciting. And tonight I'm just sitting out here and I'm like, I'm gonna stream and just tell everybody where my headspace is. And for those who, you know, enjoy me and respect me, they'll continue to be here. And for those who don't, well, they'll move on to other stuff. And you know, hopefully people stay. Hopefully people want to be around. And I don't know when this rut that I'm in will end, but you know. Yeah. Yeah. It's been tough. Like I said, we're in a financial fuckery. We're in a bit of financial fuckery. And between that and just, you know, that's affecting my mental health. The wife's mental health is you know, suffering as well. We're constantly go and trying to find time for us, and we don't have money to do anything just us, so we try to do something just us. So maybe tomorrow morning I'll get up and we don't necessarily, uh, you'll be lurking while you're walking the dog. Sounds like fun. Havoc, enjoy. I was gonna say, yeah, maybe tomorrow the wife and I'll get up early and go for a little walk and see if that helps motivate us. I I got to mow the grass. I've been working on some stuff around the house today. I did some dishes. I'm gonna finish some dishes up here tonight and probably get a load of laundry started. Just little things around the house that we've been neglecting. Get those kind of done and caught up. Uh, just kind of see how everything plays out. Um, yeah. Your yard's died. No, not me. My yard's overgrown and crazy. It's going to take me a while to clean up everything. I'm hoping to as fall hits and things start to die off. I'm hoping that I can cut down a lot of the weeds that overgrew a pile of lumber and whatnot that was laying in the yard. So I'm hoping to get all those kind of like cut down and burn off as the cooler months hit us, and then burn through that pile of wood, break it down, and burn it all up. And have plenty of ash to sprinkle around the yard as fertilizer to help grow for next year. Your brother-in-law was kind enough to mow the last few times. Yeah, I don't own a mower either because for the last probably 9 or 10 years I haven't been able to afford a mower. It's my parents live on the other side of town, so I just drive over to their house, steal their mower, drive it across town, mow my grass, drive back to their house with it, drop it off, take my car, and come home. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'll get a bug up my ass and I'll walk to their house because it's not too far away, about a mile, a little less than a mile away. So that wouldn't be too bad. Maybe I'll walk to their house tomorrow and pick up the mower, ride it back, and mow the grass before it gets too warm. A Nerf blaster or two. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Right now, my goals for things are get the 3MS done, get the lettuce feeder built, and get those kind of up and running on machines here in the garage. And then after that, I'm kind of hoping to get into building a death racer finally. That'll be, when my YouTube channel, when I stream enough to start making money, and then I can start using the YouTube money to cover projects. Dan Adams, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. But since I've been, like I said, battling the headspace, this rut's been pretty rough, man. This rut's been a rough one. So it still is. Like I said, I'm not in the greatest of headspace. I haven't streamed in a little while. For anyone who hasn't caught, I did reach out to Joel at Polymaker. I did voluntarily. I got this big chunk of fuzz on the back of my freaking shirt. Like cat hair, dog hair sticks to this thing like crazy. But I did reach out to Joel at Polymaker and asked to be removed from the giveaway list. That was a request on my behalf. It was not something that Polymaker reached out and asked to stop doing. So no bad blood there. Should use the enclosure on the switch wire. It'll help manage Bowden tubes. It's true. It could. If I do the lettuce feeder, I can always do a longer single tube up and then just do I can just do a longer single tube, right? I'll have to double check. I don't remember. Does it run all 4 tubes directly into the hot end, or does it have I thought it had a 4-into-1 at some point somewhere. I could be wrong. I don't remember. Because if it does have a 4-into-1, that can be left up higher and then just run a single tube down, that wouldn't be terrible. It can. Okay. Yeah. So if I can just change the length from the 4 into 1 in the config and then just have a longer single tube down to the hot end and just tell the length there to travel at, have a larger travel. Let's reset everything. Let's snap it back. There we go. Here, follow me. Wow. Look at that. Look at that friggin' widow's peak tonight. Woo. But yeah, then I only need a single modem that feeds down, and I can tuck everything up a little higher or off to the side or wherever it ends up getting mounted to. Using the enclosure is nice though, because it does have the slot cut in it. But I don't know. I don't care for the enclosure on the. I don't care for the enclosure on it. I'm not a fan. I think that the switch wire looks better without the enclosure. So, and right now as it stands, I do have, the Centauri. Thank you again, Fabrico, and the Magneto. Thanks again to Pio Poly. But I think the office needs a revamp. It's just, one of those things where I'm thinking I need to kind of cut down. I need to cut down the amount of stuff I have in here. The switch wire for sure will stay. The Centauri is not going anywhere. The Magneto is not going anywhere. The Prusa is not going anywhere right now. But what I'm thinking I need to do is continue this little guy right here, straight back to the wall and then go across, and then I can actually just have, let me zoom all the way out here. Is that all the way out? All right, let me lock this. And my daughter's back. Hi, hon. Hold on a second, gang. She needs to chat at me. Hold on, I gotta mute. Okay, sorry. Back. I'm going to use it. I can. I was going to tell my wife earlier that you need to rent a dumpster so that you can eat everything all at once and take the load off your mind. Oh yeah, I would not mind if I could afford to put a dumpster in the driveway and yeet a bunch of things as well. That would give me a lot more space, but I'm thinking though that, like I said, go from here back and then across and then move the magneto probably over to this corner because it won't fit under the stairs, but then have everything more at a consistent level. Get rid of a lot of the printers that aren't necessary. Leave myself some space here to work. Probably build out to about here, right there. Build it out to about here so I can sit behind and work, and then I can just tell this to zoom in to right there where I'm working so you guys can see it. I agree, Havoc. I wish I could, but I still have. Hold on. I'm curious. I know I'm around the $40,000 mark, so it's not as bad. It's not that bad. However, if anybody wants to help me eat mine, send me 40K. That'll probably pay it off. If I pay it off early like that, I'll beat out some of that interest. $40,494.55. Yep. So there you go. That be the mortgage. 40K. So, but now, gang, like I said, I've just been battling the mental stresses, the mental demons. You just bought yours March of last year, yeah. Yeah, I will tell you guys this much. I live in a small area. I bought my house 13 years ago. And 13 years ago when I bought my house, I paid 55,000 and I still owe 40. So 30-year loan, 5% interest. So still got what, 17 years to go to pay off the rest of it. I just paid through most of the interest. Yep, just paid through most of the interest already. So now we're actually getting into the actual premium. So finally getting into actually paying on the house now instead of paying back the bank for the money I borrowed. And for those who don't know, the way it usually works when you get a mortgage, the first, like in a 30-year mortgage like that, the first third of your mortgage is usually paying back the interest first. The second half is usually about an equal parts premium or your principal and interest, and then that last part of it is mostly just paying on the principal with a little bit of interest still stuck in there. So your mortgage is split into thirds usually, and that's kind of how it rolls. So just keep that in mind. If you haven't and are looking to buy a house, keep that in mind. If you make double payments, make sure you tell them to apply your second payment, or in some cases third payment if you can afford it. Tell them to apply that to the principal and not to the as a payment, because paying ahead isn't really paying ahead. So when you make an additional payment, pay it to the principal. Tell them, here's my standard monthly payment that I need to make. Now take this money and put it on the principal. Pay down your principal faster, you pay less interest in the end. So knock out as much of that principal payment as you can. Don't get me wrong, it looks good to keep a nice flowing payment history where you're paying your payments on time. But if you can pay ahead, pay on the principal. I'm looking at this and it looks like I need to go peek at the printer. So bear with me while I go peek at the printer and then knock my coffee cup from this morning down on the floor. Thankfully, my garage floor is nothing I'm worried about. Nope, it looks fine. It's just the way the light kind of shines on it. It looks a little funny. There we go, I'm back. But no, gang, like I said, I just in the personal life going through a bunch of shit. Got me a little fuckered up. Just trying to get by. One day it'll all work out. One day. Something went wrong. Try again. Click on you. Click on you. Yeah. Just checking some stuff, gang. Not ignoring you guys. I'm just double checking some stuff. I have attached rough draft of my daughter's IEP. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, so Centauri, the Elegoo gang, back to that. The Elegoo gang, they their answer to my issue was just run the temps hotter and maybe try cleaning it out a little better. So it's like I said earlier, that's what I did. I took that little rod and forced it through, cleared out most of it, took the nozzle itself and heated it up really, really hot, and then forced the needle through and tried my best to clean it out. And then when I tightened it up, I tried to go a little extra tight just to make sure that the nozzle is seated properly. And so far, it seems to be working. So I got earlier, like I said, I got 2 successful ducks off of it. We got 2 successful ducks. I got to load that blue and silver in. And the Prusa, that Philaxix blue and silver co-extrusion. I'll load that in and give it a whirl. And this thing, I tried printing a cow and it took a week and a half because I wasn't out here. And it kept one of the, even just one of the filaments wasn't, it's number 2, lane number 2 in the ACE was having problems. It kept detecting a jam. So, but it wastes a lot of filament. I am not gonna lie. I'm not overly impressed with the ACE printer or with the Cobra 3 and the ACE and the amount of waste that it gives off. So, Sun Turtle, holy shit, how you been? How's Denmark? It's good to see you. Thanks for the quick hello. I hope whatever you have going on for the rest of your evening is fun and exciting. And if it's going to bed, well, probably should, because it's a little late in Denmark right now, so you should probably get some sleep. Yes, it's good to see Sun Turtle. Sun Turtle hasn't been around for a while. Of course, I don't know if that's true or not because I haven't streamed much. It's Friday. Yes, yes, it is. Not gonna lie, I took a sick day today from work. Just kind of clear my head a little bit. Besides, I think if I remember right, next week I got a board meeting one night, and I'm pretty sure the board meeting, I'm trying to find out if I need to even attend those anymore, because with the new superintendent, I don't know that I need to attend. And if I don't need to attend, I'd prefer not to, because my daughter has volleyball games, and I would like to be at those if I can. I have this old camera. It's not old. It's a couple of years old. I think I'm going to hook it up and maybe take one of my Raspberry Pis or something fired up as a camera server. Yeah. Been camping and taking adventures. Nice. That's awesome. You had the day off because they said there wasn't enough work. Well, darn it. But did you get paid for the day off, Mike, or did you get a unpaid day off? Those parts we started are 14% complete with 4.5 hours to go. Don't even get holiday pay when it rolls around. Oh, that sucks, brother. Sorry to hear. But there's the parts printing away. It's funny because when I have the camera right here, everything is straight. But when it turns, it looks like everything kind of twists, but it doesn't. It's just this weird thing. Uh-oh. I think I broke it doing the updates. Yeah. My fear, I think, came true. I think I broke it doing the updates. Dang it. It's all right. Just learn our lesson. Just don't do the updates then, right? Oh. It's all right. I'll mess around with it later. I can say I'm still happy with my new service provider for my internet, saving me $80 a month and still giving me 2 gigabit internet. You know, can't really complain there. I'm running a speed test while streaming, so let's see if I drop any frames. I think the one time I did this, I did drop frames, but nope, we didn't drop any frames. And 2 gig down, 2.1 gig up. So there's that. Working on making a table out of a silky folding wagon. I have with an inflatable kayak. Works great for public transport and portaging. Nice. It's all good, man. It's all good. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're doing, or at least I have a good idea of what you're doing. So it's all good, man. But gang, I gave you guys an hour of my time tonight. Um, and by I gave you guys an hour of my time, I mean you guys graciously spent an hour of time with me tonight. So thank you for that. I don't want to sound like I'm being an arrogant douchebag. It's not who I am, not what I'm about. But yeah, I don't really know what to keep chipping away at the little things. Yep. Like I said, I'm gonna probably go back in the house when I get done streaming, do some more dishes, get them knocked out. While I'm at it, probably grab a basket, flip flop some laundry, and get some more laundry going so that we get that knocked out. I got a couple loads of laundry left, a couple loads or a couple sinks of dishes left to get done. You know, when you neglect them to the point where your counter and your sinks are full, it takes a while to clean all that. Damn, man, that sucks. Yeah, we all understand. Yeah, by the way, Clayton, man, I hope things in Hawaii are going well. I hope you got beautiful views and wonderful weather, man. Maybe one day there'll be a trip to Hawaii in my future, but it ain't anytime soon. But if it ever is, man, if there ever is, I'll make it a point to stop by and say, hey. Is anybody streaming tonight besides my stupid ass? Let's take a look real quick. Give me a second to shuffle some stuff around here. Let's go to the YouTubes. Well, thank you, good sir. Let's see, go to my subscriptions. Let's see who else live streaming. Oh, it looks like Zachary just ended his stream. Otherwise, we could have went over there. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody else that I watched that live streams that. Yeah. Yeah, it does look like it. Oh. All right, gang. Well, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Hopefully, you guys find something or someone to watch, something entertaining, and yeah, you guys have fun. Stay out trouble, stay out of jail. Happy 3D printing and all those things. Bye, guys.